be protected by God.
And welcome back to Atreyu News. It is now Saturday, August 4th of 2018, the year of our Lord. Through the laws of power, we shall gain more and more victories. Law 15 pertains to Tommy's incident, in particular against the Battle of the World Order. Law 15, crush your enemy totally. All great leaders since Moses have known that a feared enemy must be crushed completely. Sometimes they have learned this the hard way. If one ember is left alight, no matter how dimly it smolders, a fire will eventually break out. More is lost through stopping halfway than through total annihilation. The enemy will recover and will seek revenge, crush him, not only in body, but in spirit. And so we shall. Alright, well, Tommy Robinson has been freed a few days ago from prison in spectacular fashion. The nationalists and populist movements, combined with traditionalism, is rising in Europe, and it's very obvious at this point. Tommy Robinson has indeed been freed on bail, and through the rebel media, I actually gave some money, so I feel great that I played a small part of it. I'll leave a link to the rebel media down below. Tommy won against his contempt of court, which would have sentenced him to 13 months in prison. The court has granted Tommy the right to appeal this court, and it was handed down at Lee Crown's court back in May. For those of you who do not know Tommy, he's an English conservative, former leader and founder of the English Defence League, who also is a nationalist, populist, family man, and a traditionalist Christian. He's a massive personality for YouTube, Twitter, and social media, and just an all-around good guy. Tommy was arrested a few months back outside the courthouse in Leeds. He was arrested because he was filming members of an Islamic gang who are on trial for running a child grooming circle, so pedophiles in other words. He ended up filming them while they were entering the court for trial, basically saying, "Look, the UK is falling. This is the type of stuff that goes on. This is the type of psychosis we can expect from a massive third world immigration system." Also, he was demonstrating that this is what happens when the UK has open borders, and that's why we can not allow it to happen here. So they arrested him for it. And now the idiotic authorities are calling it a breach of peace and found guilty of contempt of court because he had been warned not to film the pedophiles. Can you believe that? Not being able to film a criminal on the way into court. That's exactly what occurred. Let that sink in. The amount of authoritarianism that exists in the UK, they want to happen here. Aside from being arrested for this seemingly normal act, he was given no trial, no due process, no appeal of any sort, and the media was blacked out, so we couldn't cover it properly or know what was happening. The judge that gave Tommy the sentence turned around and put a media ban and blackout on what just occurred. Now we see what kind of deep shit the UK is actually in. Luckily, Tommy Robinson's lawyer went to the media immediately and told everyone what was happening, including the Muslim population at the prison that he was placed into would be extremely high. Obviously, these were Muslim gang members who threatened Tommy's life on a daily basis and threw feces and urine and different things at him through the window in his cell. I thank God that this incident has finally been resolved in Tommy's favor. Like I said, this is a major win for nationalists and traditionalists worldwide. This example of authoritarianism is what we fought against, is what our forefathers fought against. This is going to start a fire unlike the world has ever seen, and we're sick of it, and we've had enough. If the media ban on Tommy would have happened 30 years ago, I'm sure it would have occurred and stuck. Luckily for us, because of the internet, most of it being free still here in the West, we were able to bypass the mainstream media bullshit and still get the word out. And millions of people found out, tens of thousands showed up, and thousands donated. So that if they try that again, they will not succeed, not now or ever. Thank God for the internet. We call it the network society, built for us, by us, to transfer information to one another against the world order's agenda. Tommy Robinson's arrest did in fact serve as an awakening process for Eastern and Western Europe, and especially for us in the West worldwide. Even though the world order did what they could to stop the spread of information, obviously it did not work. We've seen rallies of tens of thousands march across the UK and indeed all over the world. Even in Australia had marches, France had marches, the United States, and even Israel and Tel Aviv they had marches. The leaders of the UK were obviously confident. They thought they could pull the wool over our eyes once again, but they failed miserably. Not many people know, but even a Trump official from the Trump administration put pressure on the UK to release Tommy immediately. His name was Sam Brownback, who is the U.S. ambassador for religious freedom. He had a meeting back in June with the ambassador of the UK, complaining about the treatment of Tommy and how it was wrong what they did. Me personally, I was almost hoping the UK would side with the Islamicists and Trump would openly condemn the UK for what they have become. But if that has not happened yet, I'm sure it will happen later. The UK we used to know, as far as I can tell, is fallen and no longer our ally. It truly is remarkable what we were able to achieve, for if we did not stand up in mass across the known world, Tommy would be in prison for the rest of his life and probably would have died in there. This was a great, great victory, and we could never forget that if we ever stand up and just resist, eventually we win. This rise of populism has surpassed anything I would have expected at this point, and it appears quite clear that it's growing and growing fast. For the first time in my lifetime, we finally have presidents, prime ministers, and parliaments that represent us wholeheartedly. And although we do have a road ahead, as much as we are burdened by this quest to save the world, I feel blessed to be a part of this. Because when the dust settles and when the world order crumbles, a new age will be born, a conservative age of gold and prosperity. It's so awesome. Now when we talk and we get to social media, the presidents and the parliaments and the leaders, they listen to us. They have more in common with us than they do with the globalists now. Even the Home Secretary in the UK was threatened by high courts that if Tommy was damaged in any way or killed in prison, he would have hell to pay. And after all this, the media is still going to try and spin that we had no effect or ill effect on this decision. Give me a break. The world is ours, and we must treat it like so. Having said that, our great, great victory has been seen by our members across the world, and the fire of nationalism and populism is rising, and rise we shall.